in trouble. I wonder how this will fit and how easy it is to fit.
Hi there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's episode you join me in the Fiesta, and we're currently en route to Tuxford Road Garage. Now the car itself is actually going in for its MOT this morning, but it's not the main point for today's video. So unfortunately what is also at Tuxford Road Garage is the Jag. Now I say unfortunately because earlier on this week on my way into work, as this clip will demonstrate, I hit trouble.
We've got a problem. There's just no acceleration. It's barely bloody moving, what the fuck? I'm in trouble. I've got to pull over. What on earth is happening to this car? Died.
Oh dear. So yes, less than ideal circumstances that night. My dad very kindly came and picked me up and took me back to theirs, and my mum also very kindly lent me her Fiesta so that I could get to work for the rest of this week. But hopefully all being well, we'll be able to get this Fiesta MOT'd and we'll get the issue fixed on the Jag. Now in the meantime, over these last few days I've been having a look at some of the Facebook groups and the forums and stuff to try and ascertain what potentially could be causing this spluttering problem. And there's a lot of posts that are up that are suggesting that the issue that I've got is apparently quite a common one with the X300, and it's an issue with the crank position sensor. Now I don't at this point know particularly much about what this sensor actually does, but what I have managed to get is one off eBay, which is in this packet. I got it very cheap. It was only 17 quid and it arrived in pretty much 24 hours as well, so I was absolutely blown away by how speedy that was delivered. So hopefully this will be quite a simple job and we'll be able to get the Jag running. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. The Jag, looking a bit sorry at the moment.
So this car at the minute sounds like an absolute bag of spanners, as I shall demonstrate. Yeah, not too good. Right, let's get this package open. And there it is, one crank position sensor. I wonder how this will fit and how easy it is to fit. In goes the Fiesta. Let's hope for the best. Right, okay, so looking down here then, it appears to be, this is the crank position sensor. This bit here and that wire going up to this plug up here. Hopefully it's a case of just removing that and putting the new one on. Right, so looking at the bottom of the sensor, just zoom in, there's like a little bit sticking out of the bottom. Somehow that must be reading the teeth on the pulley there. That must be the crank pulley with the teeth on, and it must be taking some sort of measurement from that. So it looks as if it's only attached by this bolt just here. There's a better angle of it just down there. It's an 8mm. Yep. Oh, have I dropped it? Yep. There it is. Right, so the plug to it is just down there. That one. Okay, push at the top and hopefully that will pull out. Come on. Right, that's the top bit off. How's that attached to that? Is it just slides off? It's going to be something dead simple that I just can't see. It genuinely just looks like it slides on the end of this bracket thing. Maybe I ought to have a go at trying to take the two bolts off there and up there, get this whole bracket off, take it all with it. There's one. That's two. And here comes the sensor with the bracket attached. Right, so that's how it looked like. Oh, this thing has to come off, surely. It's a bit of help. There we go. So there's the new one with the bracket. Simply push that into there like that. It's pushed right up, clicks. Map this back to the bit on the engine. And then we get the bottom of the sensor, and there's like a little slot just down there. Feed it through that, if it'll go. Line up the hole, put the bolt back in there, plug in at the top, and hopefully this will work. There's a plug. That's plugged in. Let's see if she starts. That's a no then. Turning the key now, look. I think I might actually genuinely have a flat battery. Right, so now I've got a jump pack attached. Hopefully this will work.
So at this point I put my camera behind the car to film what happened as I tried to start it. Smooth. Well, maybe some people would like to see what the inside of the X300 boot lid looks like instead of the full rear end of the car. Question is, would she start? I guess not at the moment, so whilst I struggle with getting this car to fire up, I'll explain to you all about what this crankshaft position sensor is actually doing now that I've done my research. So let's just let the wind close the boot lid first, and I'll begin. Let's start with the camshaft. The camshaft is located at the top of the engine. It has cam lobes along its length that work with the valve trains. These trains control the entry of air and fuel into the combustion chamber and the removal of exhaust gases following each power stroke part of the engine cycle. The camshaft is driven with the use of a timing chain or belt. This chain or belt is driven by the crankshaft. The crankshaft is located at the bottom of the engine. It's attached to the pistons via connecting rods. At the point where each piston reaches its maximum height in its cylinder, the explosion in its combustion chamber forces it back down. This downward movement of each piston rotates the crankshaft. It's extremely important that all the movements of these components occur at the correct time, hence the timing belt or chain. If any were to go out of time, it could result in severe engine damage. But how would an engine know if something was amiss with this timing? This is where the crankshaft position sensor comes in. Connected to the end of the crankshaft is a crank pulley. It rotates at the same speed as the crankshaft itself. It consists of teeth all the way around its circumference. The crankshaft position sensor is located directly next to this pulley. The piece on the end of it is actually a magnet. As the pulley rotates, each tooth passes under this magnet. When a tooth is next to it, the magnet detects it. As it goes past it, it stops detecting it. Crikey, so it sounds like the engine is now running, although it sounds very lumpy indeed. I suspect it was probably the excess fuel build-up with me trying to start it several times before I replaced the sensor. Sounds like a boy racer car. Anyway, back to my explanation. So this sensor sends an electronic signal to the car's electronic control unit, or ECU, to advise it of its rotational speed and its timing. It can work out if the rotational speed is correct based on the speed of the on and off detection of the magnet. If this sensor picks up a fault with its detection speed, it will tell the ECU to put the engine into limp mode, or, as in my case, shut it down completely. So there could be one of two things wrong here. One, the engine's timing is genuinely in trouble, or two, the sensor is faulty. Naturally, I was hoping it was the latter of the two. Seems to be running a little better now though, so obviously this is a good sign. It's running, but it's a bit lumpy, so whether to just give this a blast up the road and see if it clears it. It certainly sounds better than it did. But I guess the main test will be when we actually give this thing a proper run. Pity the camera fell down at that moment when I was starting it and revving it, because it was making all sorts of smoke. Let's give it a spin round and head back. Yeah, I think we've cracked this. She's moving well. Right. Now that we've done that, I'm giving the battery a bit of a charge. Let's see. If we turn it off now, will it restart again? Yes, it will. Fantastic. Right then guys, okay, so we're all sorted. Fantastic result. So before we wrap the video up, just want to pass on a few thanks. So firstly to Premium Parts EU to begin with. What a fantastic service you provided. I've ordered the part, it was 17 quid delivered, and it's arrived in 24 hours. Absolutely fantastic, couldn't ask for better. It's working, dead cheap, and brilliant delivery time. So to Premium Parts EU on eBay, fantastic, thank you so much. To my dad, of course, for picking me up on the day that I was stranded. To my mum for lending me her car. To all the guys at Tuxford Road Garage for all their help, and of course collecting the car when it was stranded to take it back to their garage so that I could work on it today, and for letting me borrow the jumper pack when the car wouldn't start. big thanks to you as well. Really massive thanks to everybody all concerned. Really appreciate it. Right, so if you did like the video, do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Any comments you want to put forward will of course be greatly appreciated. If you want to check out our other social media platforms or contact me on my email address directly, just check out the description below. Details are all there. And if you would like to give our channel some support, then please hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate all the support, of course, that you could give to us. Goes a long way in helping us out. So if you'd like to do that, we'd really appreciate it. Right, so the reason I'm now going back in the Fiesta is, unfortunately, it didn't pass its MOT. So I bought a couple of track rod ends to fit onto each front corner, which we're going to get those done now, hopefully before it gets dark, and we'll pick the Jag up later. So I'll crack on with that. But until next time, guys, thanks ever so much for watching and for your continued support as ever, and we shall see you in the next episode. Take care of yourselves. Cheers now. Bye bye. So when I got home, I inspected the track rod ends on the Fiesta. In the end, it was a couple of quick wins. The first one was a simple straight out replacement, which didn't really put up too much of a fight. And better still, on the opposite side, all that was needed was a quick nip up with a spanner and we were done. She went back into the test centre and got herself 12 months MOT. Nice one. If you'd like to have a look at how I did replace one of these, check out one of my previous videos, episode 112, and in this particular one you'll find out how I replaced one that was so rusted up it really was a patience tester. This damn car. And as for the Jag, well, I gave my missus the privilege of driving her home.
Purrs like a kitten.